Alex Eala just arrived at the Australian Open, and she didn't come alone. The Filipino tennis standout walked in alongside Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. Yeah, just casually spending time with two of the biggest stars in tennis. Fans are going crazy because this isn't just about being nearby. It points to something bigger about where her career is going and who is starting to notice her rise. Do you think training with top players like Alcaraz and Sinner can help Alex reach the top 30 this year? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's be clear about one thing. When you arrive at a Grand Slam with Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, you're not just another player trying to get attention. You're someone these top athletes respect enough to train with, travel with, and be seen with publicly. That doesn't happen by chance. That's earned. Alex Eala showing up at the Australian Open with two of tennis's biggest stars sent waves through tennis social media. Fans shared photos and videos of them together, and everyone started asking questions. How did this happen? When did Eala get close enough with Alcaraz and Sinner to arrive in Melbourne together? And most importantly, what does this mean for her career path? Here's the background you should know. Eala trains at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca.
The first time I met Rafa, I was on the way to his academy. Oh my gosh, I was on the way to his academy because I was gonna try it out before we committed. I was just gonna try it out for a week, and then we ran into him in the airport, in the Madrid airport, and it's kind of embarrassing to say, we kind of ran after him. Like, not ran after, but we were fanning, fangirling, and then we told him, oh, we're going to your academy. I would think this is a place for someone to learn new things and someone to be exposed to professionalism in tennis, to learn how to be disciplined and to learn how to socialize as well.
That's where top players go to sharpen their game with world-class coaching. Alcaraz has ties to the academy because of his Spanish tennis background. Sinner, meanwhile, is known for training at several elite facilities across Europe during the off-season. The fact that Eala is training in the same circles as these superstars tells you exactly how seriously the tennis world views her potential. You don't get invited into those practice sessions unless coaches and players truly believe you belong there. You don't hit with Alcaraz, a multiple Grand Slam winner and former world number one, unless he believes you can challenge him in practice. Now, let's talk about where Eala stands in her career, because the timing of this Australian Open moment with Alcaraz and Sinner couldn't be better. She recently cracked the top 50 of the WTA rankings for the first time after making the semifinals at the ASB Classic in Auckland. That's a huge achievement for any player, especially for someone from the Philippines, where tennis lacks the same support systems as places like the United States or Spain. Eala's rise has been incredible. Around this time last year, she was ranked 138 in the world and competing mostly in ITF World Tour events, basically tennis's minor leagues. Now she's locked into the Australian Open main draw and spending time with the sports elite. That's not slow progress. That's rapid growth. Her big breakthrough came at last year's Miami Open when she reached the semifinals and defeated Iga along the way. Let that sink in. She beat a former world number one and multiple Grand Slam champion. That wasn't luck. That was a clear message that Alex Eala belongs on the biggest stages in tennis. After Miami, she reached her first WTA Tour final in Eastbourne. These aren't small events. These are major tournaments featuring the best players in the world. Eala went from being mostly unknown to must-watch tennis in just a few months, and the tennis world took notice. Now she's at the Australian Open, not just competing, but arriving with Alcaraz and Sinner like it's completely normal. That moment speaks volumes. Fans see that and instantly understand Eala isn't just another young prospect. She's someone future tennis legends already view as an equal. Now, let's break down what training with players like Alcaraz and Sinner really means for her growth. Practicing against elite competition forces you to raise every part of your game. Weaknesses get exposed fast. Your movement must improve. Your decision-making has to be sharper. Your mindset has to be tougher. Alcaraz is famous for his speed and aggressive baseline style. Training with him means Eala is facing the same pace and power she sees against the very best players in the world. Sinner brings a completely different test. His consistency and ability to change pace make him one of the toughest players to break down. Training against that style gets Eala ready for the long physical battles she needs to win to keep climbing the rankings. Beyond the technical side, there's also a huge mental advantage to practicing with champions. When you share the court with players who've won Grand Slams and reach world number one, your mindset shifts. The top of the sport stops feeling distant and impossible. It starts to feel reachable because you're literally facing people who've already done it. The Australian Open draw gives her a real chance to make noise. She went out in the first round of qualifying last year, meaning she's defending almost 0 ranking points. Every win in Melbourne will push her ranking up in a big way. If she wins a couple of rounds, and based on her current form, that's very realistic, she could move into the top 40 or even higher. And here's where things get exciting. Eala's ranking path over the next few months is perfectly set up for a big jump. She's only defending 390 points through March, including her deep Miami run last season. But this year she'll be playing bigger tournaments, which means more chances to earn points and replace the ones that drop. If she keeps anything close to her current level, she could be inside the top 32 by the time Roland Garros arrives in June. That would make her a seeded player at a Grand Slam. For someone competing in ITF events just a year ago, that rise would be unreal. The Philippines is buzzing over Eala's success, and for good reason. Tennis isn't as big there as basketball or boxing, but she's changing that story. Filipino fans traveled to Auckland to cheer her on, and they'll be doing the same in Melbourne. One opponent, Donna Vekic, even mentioned how strong the support was, saying, "There's so many of you guys." That level of passion can add pressure, but Eala handles it impressively well. She's spoken about how her family keeps her grounded, how they laid the foundation for her career, and how Filipino family values shape her mindset. She's not getting carried away or making demands. She's focused, working hard, and letting her results do the talking. After beating Vekic at the Kooyong Classic, a respected warm-up event in Melbourne, Eala said something that should worry future opponents. "I want to say this is the best I've ever played. I think I'm in a good moment." That's not ego. That's confidence built from preparation and momentum. She beat Vekic twice in 1 week, first at the ASB Classic in a tough 3-set match, then again at Kooyong in straight sets. The difference between those matches shows just how fast Eala is learning and improving. That's the sign of an elite competitor, the ability to adjust and return even stronger. Now let's talk about the obvious question. Some people will argue that arriving with Alcaraz and Sinner is just good publicity and doesn't actually matter for her tennis. Those people are wrong. Players at this level don't waste time on PR moves. If Alcaraz and Sinner are spending time with Eala, it's because they see real value in training with her. It's because they respect her game enough to know she helps them prepare for their own matches. The elite tennis world is very small. Everyone knows everyone, and reputations spread fast. If you're not good enough or don't have the right mindset, top players won't want to practice with you. The fact that Eala is part of those circles says a lot about how other players see her. There's also a practical side to this. Practice partners matter. At Grand Slams, players need high-quality training sessions to stay sharp between matches. Having someone like Eala, a player in great form who can mirror different styles and won't hold back, makes her extremely valuable to players like Alcaraz and Sinner. This setup works for everyone. Alcaraz and Sinner get a motivated, skilled partner who pushes them. Eala gains priceless experience practicing with the best players in the world and learning how they prepare for Grand Slams. It's a win-win situation that only happens when everyone brings real value. Looking ahead, Eala's schedule is full of chances. After the Australian Open, she'll compete in the Middle East before moving into the North American swing. If she can put together consistent results, not even titles, just regular quarterfinal and semifinal runs, her ranking will rise quickly. Some people compare her rise to Emma Raducanu, but that comparison misses the mark. Raducanu won the US Open as a qualifier and then struggled with injuries and pressure. Eala's climb is more sustainable because it's based on steady progress, not one lightning-in-a-bottle run. She's moving up step by step, gaining experience at each stage. Training at the Nadal Academy gives her world-class facilities and coaching. She's even said that Nadal himself has offered advice during practice. When one of the greatest players ever takes time to help you, that's going to speed up your growth. Technically, Eala's game is strong in every area. There isn't one clear weakness opponents can easily attack. Her serve keeps getting better. Her ground strokes are solid and powerful. Her movement around the court is excellent. Her mental strength, which might be the most important part of tennis, looks incredibly advanced for a 20-year-old. What makes Eala especially dangerous is her fearlessness. She doesn't back down on big points. She doesn't get rattled by the moment. When she faced Swiatek in Miami, she didn't play like someone just happy to share the court with a champion. She played to win, and she did exactly that. That mindset is rare. Many talented players fall apart under pressure or play too safe against higher-ranked opponents. Eala attacks. She believes in her shots. She competes with an intensity that grabs the attention of coaches and fans alike. The Australian Open will be a huge challenge. Melbourne's conditions are hot, physical, and demanding, favoring players who are both fit and mentally strong. Eala checks both of those boxes. Her recent results prove she's physically ready. Her calm play and pressure moments prove she's mentally ready. If she gets a kind draw, maybe avoiding the very top names early, she could make a real run. Reaching the fourth round isn't unrealistic. A quarterfinal would be amazing, but not impossible based on her current form. No matter how far she goes in Melbourne, the message is already clear. Alex Eala is here to stay. She's not a fluke. She's not just a feel-good story that fades away. She's a real contender who trains with champions and plays like one. The Filipino flag is flying high in the tennis world right now. And it's flying because Eala carries it with pride, talent, and a calm confidence that defines champions. So there you have it. Alex Eala isn't just showing up at the Australian Open. She's arriving as a real force in women's tennis, backed by the respect of champions. If you're excited to follow her journey and want more coverage of tennis's rising stars, hit like and subscribe. Who do you think will go further at the Australian Open? Eala, Alcaraz, or Sinner?